Moving on to more police state news. Unblinking surveillance stare. Army's 7-story flying football field-sized blimp. And this is by Miss Smith out of Network World. And we link to it. The Long Endurance Multi-Intelligence Vehicle, or the LEMIV, is almost the size of a 7-story football field. It's meant to fly at speeds between 30 and 80 knots without ceasing for 28 straight days while providing an unblinking eye of surveillance. Northrop Grumman has a $500 million contract to build 3 of these 21st century robot airships for the U.S. Army. And very interesting story. And it takes me back to this book that Aaron's had in his office for a long time. It's called Future Government, and it shows a little triangular spaceship with the words United World Federation on it. And it talks about how things are going to be different in the future. This book was published, let's see when this book, 1980. Wow. This was before I was even in grade school. And I was in grade school a long time ago. So let's go to the future weapons section. One weapon of the future that will be used a lot if wars continue is pilotless drone planes. And then you flip the page. Control planes will be able to stay up in the air up to 24 hours without having to land to refuel. They will be most important serving as decoys to draw anti-aircraft fire away from the real planes. They could also be used for suicide missions. And they could also be used to kill American citizens without warrants. They didn't add that in there. That's interesting. The drones, as they are called, can also carry bombs, short-range missiles deep into enemy territory, where it would be too dangerous for a conventional bomber to go. And it goes on from there. But very interesting. They've been talking about this for years, so this is obviously stuff that's been in the works. It is not there for our safety, and these are going to be for the Army, but they're going to be used for, we know eventually they will be used for domestic purposes. That's always the case. They roll things out with the Army first to see if they work, and then after that, it's time to bring them here, and there'll be one over every city looking at you, staring at you, a giant unblinking eye, tracking every move you make, and if you get caught by the cops, well, you're just going to commit suicide in the back of a car, because that's the way it works. Moving on to another piece of propaganda. The Mail Online reports, is the U.S. sending SEAL Team 6 to capture top drug cartel kingpin? American military plotting military mission similar to bin Laden mission. And this is an interesting piece. And it's a very interesting piece here. So they mentioned, you know, it mainly seems like a big propaganda piece. Talk about the drug war. It mentions SEAL Team 6 in the article twice, and they don't say who's saying that they're going to be sending SEAL Team 6. They're not quoting any government official. They're just saying, you know, will they send it? And they talk about this guy, El Chapo, who escaped from prison in 2001, and he's been on the run, and he's head of the biggest drug cartel. It's a $1 billion drug empire, and is accused of firing the first shot in the bloody cartel war that has killed nearly 50,000 people. And very interesting. What I find most interesting is towards the, you know, bottom of the article, they go to this photo. We have it right over here. There it is. There it is. This is the fake bin Laden room video. There's Hillary. She's got hand over her mouth. There's Obama not looking at the same place that everybody else is looking, which is very interesting. He seems to be looking above where everyone else is looking. So they put that in there along with some propaganda about, you know, a member of SEAL Team 6 shot and killed Osama bin Laden during the elite squad's raid during his compound in Pakistan. So I don't know why Mail Online would put this in here. I just want to ask them a couple questions. Do they not see our article May 5th, 2011? Which states, by Paul Joseph Watson, staged White House Situation Room photos, part of bin Laden fable. And the photos were described as having, by many, as having historical significance and forming a captivating record of Obama's greatest success and his defining moment in his presidency. We're also told by the media that the leader of the free world saw the terror chief shot in the eye. U.S. President Barack Obama, along with his high-level team, watched coverage in the White House as commandos gunned down the world's most wanted terrorist, Osama bin Laden, via a video camera fixed to the helmet of a Navy SEAL. Along with this crumbling official narrative of the operation to kill bin Laden, it has emerged that Obama, Clinton, and the staff saw virtually nothing whatsoever of the mission that allegedly led to the assassination of bin Laden because, according to the CIA Director Leon Panetta, there was a 25-minute blackout of the live feed, which was cut off before the U.S. Navy SEALs even entered the building. So let's go back to this photo real quick. Why was Hillary having her hand over her mouth? Is it possible that she saw the helicopter crash, that top-secret helicopter that that was seen in the compound? That's possible. In fact, it says the Situation Room, as action unfolded, they had little knowledge of what was happening in the compound, and that was reported by the London Telegraph. So we're learning a little lesson in how the propaganda trail works. You know, a big newspaper puts out an article talking about SEAL Team 6, trying to get people into the, you know, they're going to help us out with the drug war and go down to Mexico and get El Chapo. Let's go to the Army Times and see what they had to say. Administration won't release bin Laden records. And this is from March 15th, 2012. And going down there, the Pentagon told the AP this month that it could not locate any photographs or video taken during the raid or showing bin Laden's body. It also said it could not find any images of bin Laden's body on the Navy aircraft carrier where the al-Qaeda leader was taken and later buried at sea because that's Muslim tradition. Oh, wait, it's not. The Pentagon said it could not find any death certificate, autopsy report, or results of DNA identification tests for bin Laden because, you know, when you put out the most daring rescue and the most daring kill mission in the world in the history of all terrorism, you know, you don't take pictures. You don't do any of that. You just, oh, we don't know where it is. We put him out to sea. We don't know where he's at. Well, let's continue. I'm getting a little mad here. I'm sorry. Pre-raid materials discussing how the government planned to dispose of bin Laden's body if he were killed. It said if search files at the Pentagon, its search files at the Pentagon, U.S. Special Operations Command in Tampa, Florida, and the Navy Command in San Diego that controls the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson used in the mission. So nobody has files of this. The Defense Department told AP in late February it cannot find any emails about the bin Laden mission or his Geronimo codename that were sent or received in the year before the raid by Vice Admiral William McRaven, head of Joint Special Operations Command, who organized and oversaw the mission. It also cannot find any emails from senior officers who would have been involved in the mission's planning. It found only 3 such emails written to then Defense Secretary Robert Gates, and it consisted of 12 pages sent to Gates summarizing news reports after the raid. Wow. So the greatest, the most amazing, daring SEAL Team 6 mission ever undertaken, where they went into Pakistan with helicopters, one of which was experimental and crashed. They managed to get in there, shoot bin Laden in the eye after he was cowering in front of one of his wives. Well, wait, no, he didn't. He had an AK-47. No, wait, he didn't have that. He was in his underwear. Yeah, he was in his underwear, and we shot him in the eye, and we carried him out, and we took a bunch of tapes and stuff, and now we're releasing photos that he wanted. He liked Obama. I mean, there's all kind of just crap out there about this raid. And yet, we're still talking about it. Organizations like Mail Online is still putting out that fable that it's still true. People are putting out this image that's been already proven to be fake many times over, and they're trying to keep selling you that narrative. That's all they want to do is keep the lie going. And if you're too stupid to realize that, I'm sorry, I feel for you. Take some Prozac, some Ritalin.